Here's one for you that may also blow your mind into oblivion. Did you know that our Earth is actually on the shell of a giant turtle named Maturin? And not only that, but the turtle vomited up our universe when it had a particularly bad stomachache, seemingly during some time way back in the day at the dawn of all time and space. Yeah, take a moment to let that sink in, right? Well, obviously what we're outlining are the inner workings of the legendary horror writer Stephen King and his remarkably brilliant interconnected Macroverse, because I hate to break it to you, but wherever the giant turtle Maturin is involved, so too is its evil connected counterpart, the Deadlights. So let's see what our universe would look like if they were real. Hello internet, what's going on? And once again, welcome back to the most inquisitive channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions. As per usual, I'll be your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch. Just today, we curiously asked the question, what if the Deadlights were real? Sorry about that, guys. I hate to do that to you, but that's probably the best we're going to get when it comes to a visual depiction of the cosmic horror in question. For the curious amongst you, that clip was, of course, from 2017's It Chapter 1, and although there have been several other attempts at capturing the Deadlights, it kind of goes without saying, but this one nailed it. And while you may be thinking, Jack, what the hell are you talking about? Just bear with me, because for the non-Stephen King fanatics amongst you, don't worry, before we dive into this whole kerfuffle, we'll be bringing everyone else up to speed. Alright, not too much of a big deal, just a crash course in Stephen King. This should be easy. You see, ever since Stephen King published his first novel, 1974's Carrie, which you may be familiar with, he has gone on to truly earn the title the King of Horror, publishing over 61 novels and an incredible 200 short stories. It's safe to say that the man churns out horror fiction like a seasoned yeoman churns out butter. Whether it's The Shining, Salem's Lot, Misery, or Dolores Claiborne, King has cultivated one of the most impressive horror universes ever created, and of course it wouldn't be the Leviathan of literature that it is if it wasn't all interconnected, because come on guys, we love shared universes, right? Well, before we address the content of the most obvious novel in question, 1986's It, we have to pinch things back a few years to 1982 and King's first installment in one of the greatest series ever written, The Dark Tower. Also, I'll try and skirt around it as much as possible, but there may be a few spoilers here, but hey guys, you were the ones that wanted to know if the Deadlights were real, okay? Because the truth is, we can't speculate on the Deadlights and its physical form, Pennywise, the dancing clown, without first spacing things out a little bit, and I do mean that literally, because the Deadlights could not exist without the Macroverse first existing, and in many ways, both physically and literally, the Dark Tower is the pylon that connects all of these things together in terms of fiction and metafiction, and yeah, I suppose this question too. You see, all of King's works are interconnected by a concept known as the Macroverse. Pretty much all of his novels, by proxy of the Dark Tower, are inclusive in this same space, and also by proxy, so are we, given the fact that Stephen King appears as his own character in his own novel during the events of the Dark Tower series for the sole purpose to tell the tale of Roland Deschain, the gunslinger, the most noble man to have ever lived. Thank you very much. Long days and pleasant nights to you say. Yeah, if that's not confusing, welcome to the world of cosmic horror, science fiction, fantasy, because hey, it was the mid-80s and King's imagination was at its peak, for lack of a better word. Encapsulated in this Macroverse are a myriad of planes of existence. Allworld, the homeworld of Arthur Eld himself. Of course, there's Roland and the Dark Tower's midworld. Then there's Keystone Earth, otherwise known as our Earth, our planet, right here, right now, the one where Stephen King exists, you, me, and everyone else. There's the territories of the Talisman fame, the Null, Boya Moon, the list is literally endless, but we're not concerned with them as much as we are concerned with another space, the space in between all of these things, Todash space. And if that sounds mysterious and terrifying, that's because it is, and essentially it's where all of the cosmic horrors and oddities that have populated King's works originate from. The eternal darkness of Todash space, a place that, theoretically speaking, given the vast incomprehensibility of our universe, could technically, plausibly exist. So there's something to ponder for a while. Now, remember that turtle I mentioned earlier? See the turtle of enormous girth? On his shell he holds the earth. Well, although he is indeed a being of kind and noble intentions, of course, he too has to have his random, red, chaotic and evil counterpart. The Deadlights, it, the true form of Pennywise the Clown, the vile, malevolent, shape-shifting cosmic horror that forms the villain of King's 1986 novel that crash-landed in Derry, Maine millennia upon millennia ago to wreak havoc upon its poor townspeople for generations before, of course, being defeated by the Losers Club in the ritual of Tude. An entity seemingly comprised of a natural, mystifying orange writhing lights, the true cosmic force of it, Pennywise the dancing clown, that at one glance can turn a human mind into total and complete insanity. What purpose could a cosmic force such as the Deadlights serve other than to destroy? You see, the 2017 cinematic depiction of the Deadlights is pretty spot on in that regard. A huge maw, rows upon rows of unnatural, disgusting teeth, ready to eat whatever unfortunate creature just so happened to stumble upon its path. Even more terrifying still, the Deadlights aren't going anywhere, so don't get too optimistic given the closing events of It Chapter 2. As alluded to in the Dark Tower series, it is thought that the Deadlights, as well as Maturin the turtle, are eternal forces, as the Deadlights consume, the turtle creates in an everlasting cycle of gobbling and vomiting. Yeah, who said a mythos had to be couth? You see, the Deadlights, as we know them in It, are pretty much living it up on their horrible vacation, and they crash landed on Earth and its intention of feeding upon the rawest of human emotions, fear. You see, that's exactly why its sole prey is pretty much children, the most susceptible to things that go bump in the night. Evil clowns that offer you a red balloon from a sewer grate, mummies, giant spiders, porcelain sinks filled with blood. In many ways, Stephen King's It is his rawest interpretation of the very lifeblood of his works of horror, because it is all of those things. It is an eternal force, a cosmic phenomena that seemingly has existed in this plane of existence since the dawn of time. The Deadlights are fear if it was a chemical compound, just like oxygen or helium, the cosmic building blocks of our universe. Hey, who knows, maybe it's even that dark matter thing that everyone keeps talking about. Ugh, now that's a terrifying thought, isn't it? Well, there we have it, our long and short answer to the question, what if the Deadlights were real? In our imagination, they certainly are, and who knows, in the infinite complexities of the universe, they probably are too. Well, what do you guys think? Do you agree, disagree, have any more to add? Then let us know any intriguing insights you may have in the comment section below. Before we depart from today's video, let's first take a quick look at some of your more creative comments from our recent video, Are Birds Real? First up, Nick T says, I'm glad that the narrator is aware of the silliness of this question. Lol. Don't worry, Nick T, I always am, but I'm not entirely sure if the rest of the comment section were. Yeah. Whoosh. And finally, Dave Ledden says, is Jack Finch real? You know what, Dave? I've already had 3 existential crises today, so I guess a 4th wouldn't hurt. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, keep asking the important questions. Well, unfortunately, folks, that's all we've got time for in today's video. Cheers for sticking around all the way until the end. If you were a fan of this video, or just life's biggest questions in general, then please be a dear and hit that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe bell, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. As per usual, I've been your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch. You've been watching Life's Biggest Questions, and until next time, you take it easy.